Well, hello everyone, this is Mohammad Badruddin and today I am going to cover another module of server-side vulnerabilities, and the module name is Information Disclosure Vulnerabilities. We can also say it information leakage or sensitive information disclosure. Before dive deeper into it, this warning and disclaimer as always for you. This video and its contents are only for educational purpose and I do not support any unethical or illegal act. That's been said, the first question arises that what is information disclosure vulnerability? So, information disclosure vulnerability, also known as sensitive data exposure, and it happens when an application does not adequately protect sensitive information that may wind up being disclosed to parties that are not supposed to have access to it. Fine. So, if your web application on any cause exposing the sensitive information, so a threat actor or a cyber criminal or a hacker can take advantage of it, and sometimes it is very serious and it could harm or it could compromise your whole organization. So it depends on the level of the information which your web application exposed. Sensitive data can include application related information such as session tokens, file names, stack traces, or confidential information such as passwords, credit card data, private communication on the chat, intellectual property data, metadata, and the product source code. So, and again, the harm depends on the level of sensitive information, how much the information is sensitive which is exposed by the web server errors or in any way through the web server or web application server. Fine. So to prevent this vulnerability, I can say first you must identify the data, which data is sensitive according to the system architecture and regulatory information or requirements, and ensure that the data is transit or storage or store in the encrypted form. Fine. And remove the debugging and test functionality from the production application and systems so that your information cannot be exposed to the threat actors or to the outside world, right? Because information is everything these days, and the whole business and the whole organizations are running over the information only. So the information could be, for an organization, the information could be its client information, fine, or the project informations. So any other company can leverage or can take advantage of this and can contact to your client and may deal in the lower price than you, so you may lose the client. Fine. So without wasting time, let's go to the labs and we will see information disclosure labs here, and this is very good and I highly recommend to all of you whoever is preparing for the web application penetration tester or ethical hacker. So without wasting time, let's go to the labs. So the first lab is information disclosure in error messages. So I'm going into it. As you can see here, information disclosure in error messages, and what we need to do actually, this application is actually vulnerable to information disclosure, but the information disclosed in this application in the error messages. So it is highly recommended for the developers. Whenever you are developing any application over any framework, please take care of the error customization so that the client or the end user will not get direct error from the framework or from the application, right? So this lab, verbose error messages, reveal that it is using a vulnerable version of a third-party framework. To solve the lab, obtain and submit the version number of this framework. And I'm telling you, because I see it in many scenarios that the hacker compromise the servers or the whole network because of the vulnerable framework or the version of the framework. Because once you know the version of the framework used in a web application, you can go and search the vulnerabilities in the exploit databases, and you can get the vulnerability and you can just go and exploit that vulnerability, and boom, the whole server can be compromised in that way. So what I'm going to do here, just go to any product information, view details, and as you can see here, there is nothing. But if you see closely this URL, you can see here there is a parameter product ID which value is 1. So if I just say okay, if the value is 0, then what? So not found. Very well. Okay, I can say anything like a. Let's see what happened. And yeah, so as you can see here, you got an error which is generated by the framework, fine, or you can say from the server. So it's using Apache Struts 2 and the version is 2.3.31. So, and this version is actually vulnerable. If you want to see, I can show you here. I can easily copy this, come here, paste here, exploits, and you can see. So in the exploit database here, there are many exploit databases. You can also go to CVE details where they mentioned which kind of vulnerability is it and how you can exploit that. You can find it here on this database. So this is remote code execution. Remote code execution means you can actually execute the codes and commands on the target system or target server without having any kind of access to that server, right? So I will not go deeper into it, okay, because this lab is only saying that you need to get the information which is leaked by this application and you need to submit it. So submit the solution and paste it here, hit enter, and the lab is solved. But this is very serious vulnerability. You can enumerate that system in any way as you want. Maybe you will get the access on the lower privileged user, but then you can use your skills to escalate your privilege from low level user to the administrator or the root privileged user. Okay, so that's it for this video. See you in the next lab, and if you like the content, please like, subscribe and share. See you. Bye bye.